It's 3:04 a.m. You're wide awake. Again. Maybe you've rolled over 3 times. Maybe you've already checked the time twice, once hoping it was closer to morning, and once out of frustration. The room is quiet. Too quiet. And your mind? It's anything but. Thoughts begin to swirl. About your health. Your family. That appointment next week. Something someone said last month. You close your eyes again, but deep down you know, sleep isn't coming back easily. If this sounds familiar, take heart, you are not alone. In fact, if you could look out into the night right now, across neighborhoods, cities, even continents, you'd see lights on in countless other homes, just like yours. Millions of others, mostly over 60, are also lying awake, wondering why 3 a.m. seems to have become their new wake-up call. But just because it's common, doesn't mean it's normal. And it certainly doesn't mean you have to live with it forever. Why 3 a.m.? The mystery isn't so mysterious. Let's start with the most overlooked reason you keep waking at this exact hour. Your body's rhythm has changed. As we age, our sleep becomes lighter. Our internal clock, or circadian rhythm, becomes more sensitive. That delicate balance we once had, sleeping through the night without a care, starts to shift. Paul, who trained in martial arts for decades, captured it beautifully. Breathing connects body and mind, and it can really help with rest and recovery. For beginners, I recommend focusing on long, steady exhales. Start simple. And that simplicity is key. Waking at 3 a.m. is often your body's way of sounding an internal alarm. Not a dramatic emergency, but a soft nudge saying, something is out of balance. It might be a dip in your melatonin, the hormone that helps you stay asleep. It could be a blood sugar crash, especially if you ate dinner too early or had a carb-heavy evening. It could even be the temperature in your room, since our body's core temperature naturally shifts between 2 to 4 a.m. Or, more often than not, it's something emotional your body is trying to process when your guard is down. Light, hormones, and why the morning matters more than you think. One of the most powerful tools you have for resetting your sleep, sunlight. First thing in the morning. Why? Because light is the master switch for your internal clock. If you've spent most of your day indoors, or behind thick curtains, your body doesn't get a strong enough signal to know when it's daytime, and when it's not. Kathleen, age 74, gets it. I'm often up after 2 hours. I check my phone, go to the bathroom, and lately, I've started wondering if sugar at night is the problem. She's not wrong, but the other half of the picture is this: your body needs clear daytime cues to know how to behave at night. Try this. Within 30 minutes of waking, step outside or sit near a sunny window, even on cloudy days. Let the light hit your eyes, without sunglasses, if possible. Stay there for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Breathe deeply. Let your body reset. This small habit helps regulate melatonin and cortisol, the 2 hormones most responsible for waking and sleeping. And yes, this one simple act can shift your entire rhythm over time. The sugar and stress connection. Let's go back to what Kathleen mentioned, sugar. Eating a high-carb dinner or indulging in sweets before bed may feel comforting in the moment, but your body pays for it later. Here's what happens. Blood sugar rises. Then crashes around 2 to 3 a.m. Your body panics and releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol says, "Wake up, we've got a crisis." Even if the only real crisis is that slice of cake from earlier. Andy put it simply. I was doing everything you mentioned and couldn't figure out why I kept waking up so early. Thank you for this eye-opening video. The solution? A small protein-rich snack before bed. A spoonful of peanut butter. A few almonds. A piece of cheese. Not much. Just enough to keep your blood sugar steady until morning. You're not broken, you're being spoken to. Let me say something gently, but clearly. Waking up at 3 a.m. doesn't mean you're broken. It means your body is trying to talk to you. The key is learning how to listen. And in part 2, we're going deeper into the emotional restlessness, the mind's midnight chatter, and the gentle practices that can quiet your thoughts and cradle you back to sleep. Because sleep isn't just physical. It's also deeply emotional. And when your heart feels safe, your body finally feels ready to rest. It's not just the body, it's the mind that keeps you awake. Let's talk about what really happens at 3 a.m. You're lying there in the dark. The house is still, and suddenly your brain wakes up like it's ready for a full-blown conversation. That appointment you forgot to schedule? The thing your friend said 2 weeks ago? The what-ifs about your health, your family, your future. At 3 p.m., these thoughts might seem manageable. But at 3 a.m.? They feel massive. Liz described it perfectly. My mind never shuts off at night. Depression keeps me up, and I get bored during the day. I've started eating more too. This video helped me realize I need to break that cycle. You're not alone, Liz. That mental restlessness isn't random. It's your subconscious trying to process things you've been too busy or too exhausted to face during the day. And the truth is, the older we get, the more our days slow down, but our thoughts speed up. We reflect more. We remember more. We worry more. And it all comes knocking when the world finally goes quiet. Night journaling, don't carry it, write it. Here's a tool that's helped me, and countless others. Keep a journal by your bed. When you wake up at 3 a.m. and your thoughts start swirling, instead of lying there stewing in them, write them down. Don't worry about spelling or grammar. Don't try to be poetic, just let your hand move. Get it all out. The fear, the frustration, the random. Did I turn off the oven? Thought. All of it belongs on the page, not in your chest. Because the moment you write it down, you send a message to your brain. I've put this somewhere safe. I don't have to carry it now. This one small act can ease your mind enough to slip back into sleep, or at the very least, rest. Kind breath, a soft reboot for your nervous system. Now let's talk about your breath. Not just take a deep breath. Although that's part of it, I'm talking about intentional, compassionate breathing. Paul, the martial artist, reminded us. For beginners, I recommend long, steady exhales and letting the body naturally inhale. Breathing connects body and mind. He's right. Breath is the bridge between the body and the soul. Here's a calming technique to try when you wake up. Breathe in for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale slowly for 6. Repeat 3 to 4 times, with one hand over your heart or belly. While you breathe, say something kind to yourself. I am safe. I'm allowed to rest. My body knows how to heal. This isn't woo-woo. It's biology. Slow, controlled breathing tells your nervous system, we're okay. You don't have to stay alert. And that can be enough to tip you gently back into sleep, or at least quiet the panic. What if it's not a problem, but a message? Some people don't see 3 a.m. as a problem at all. Take Cheeto. Waking up at 3 a.m. feels like a signal to pray. I see it as a spiritual moment rather than something negative. And Rose, age 76, shared this. I wake up at 3 a.m. to pray. It's the Holy Spirit nudging me. I haven't watched TV in 13 years, don't take medication, and I feel strong. Even Chandra sees it as sacred. In Eastern traditions, waking at 3 a.m. is encouraged, perfect for yoga, meditation, and inner balance. What if we stopped fighting the wake up and instead listened? Maybe your body's not malfunctioning. It's inviting you to connect. To your breath. To your emotions. To your creator. To yourself. Even if you don't pray or meditate, 3 a.m. can become a sacred check-in. A moment of stillness in a world that rarely stops. You're not the only one awake. Rick put it best. It's 3 a.m. here in Australia. If so many people are awake right now, maybe it's just a part of life. So why not enjoy the peace and know you're not alone? Let that sink in. You are not alone. There are millions of other souls out there, just like you, eyes open, hearts full, minds racing, and many of them are learning, just like you are, how to turn that restless hour into a restful moment. Let's take a moment, just you and me, and breathe. Because if you've made it this far, it means something inside you is ready for change. Not the kind that comes from pills or rigid routines, but the kind that begins with understanding, with self-kindness, with curiosity instead of criticism. And that's exactly where we'll end, by gently reshaping the way you think about sleep. Because 3 a.m. wake-ups aren't just about what happens at night. They're a reflection of how we live during the day. Good sleep starts long before bedtime. Most people think sleep begins the moment your head hits the pillow, but it actually begins hours earlier, with the little choices we make all day long. Think of your nervous system like a dimmer switch. It can't go from bright, buzzing daytime mode to deep rest in an instant. It needs signals, soft ones, to start winding down. What does that look like? Dim your lights an hour before bed. Let the world around you soften. Turn off screens. The blue light from phones and TVs confuses your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Sip something warm. A mug of chamomile, or just hot water with lemon. Stretch. Gently. Just enough to loosen the tension that's been living in your shoulders all day. And perhaps the most important piece, do something that signals comfort, not urgency. Maybe that's reading a few pages of a familiar book. Or listening to soft music. Or writing down 3 things you're grateful for, even if the day was hard. These aren't chores. They're invitations. To slow down. To reconnect. To remind your body, it's safe to rest now. You deserve deep, restful sleep. Here's something I wish someone had told me decades ago. You don't have to earn your rest. You're not lazy if you sleep in. You're not selfish for saying no to one more obligation. You're not behind if your energy ebbs and flows. You are a human being in a body that's been through a lot. You've lived. You've loved. You've carried burdens and held space for others for years. Now, it's time to hold space for yourself. Jan, age 81, shared. I live healthily and follow good habits, but I still wake up around 2:50 a.m. every night. And she's not alone. Sometimes even when we do everything right, the wake-ups still come, and in those moments, the best gift we can offer ourselves is grace. Because even if you don't fall back asleep right away, you can still rest. You can still breathe. You can still remind your body, I am safe. I am whole. I am not alone. Let sleep become a sacred space. Chandra said something beautiful. In Eastern traditions, waking at 3 a.m. is encouraged, perfect for yoga, meditation, and inner balance. What if we saw 3 a.m. not as a problem to fix, but as a moment to meet ourselves? A chance to sit with what's real. To release what we've carried. To soften into a version of rest that's not just about closing our eyes, but about opening our hearts. This is your invitation to approach your nights with gentleness. To prepare for sleep the way you'd prepare for a meaningful ritual, because it is one. You are not alone, and you are not broken. Let's end where we began. If you're waking up in the stillness of night, wondering what's wrong with you, hear this. Nothing is wrong, your body is talking to you. And now, you know how to listen. You've learned to get sunlight in the morning to reset your rhythm. Eat in a way that supports steady blood sugar. Calm your nervous system with breath and ritual. Meet your thoughts with curiosity, not fear. Let go of the myth that sleep is supposed to be perfect. You've learned to trust yourself again. Let's continue this conversation together. Now I'd love to hear from you. Speech balloon, what's been waking you up at 3 a.m.? Speech balloon, or what small change are you going to try this week to sleep more peacefully? Drop it in the comments. Because the moment you share your truth, you remind someone else they're not alone either. And if this video felt like a quiet comfort, a conversation between friends, please click like, subscribe for more, because you deserve to be supported in this journey, every step of the way. Here's to your rest, your peace, your becoming. You are still growing. still unfolding, still becoming. And in the quiet of night, especially at 3 a.m., you can choose to let rest in. So tonight, as your head touches the pillow, may you feel held, may your breath be slow, and may your body finally believe what your soul already knows. You are safe, you are enough, you are allowed to rest. Here's to healing sleep, and to living your best life, at any age.